This program is huge. We talk about the co-responder program being a partnership. We decided we would have a dedicated officer, dedicated mental health professional, and they would be partners on the job. The community as a whole recognized that mental health is an issue. We needed to do something more.
When you take mental health and you take law enforcement, they haven't always been best friends. I think that we've become the bridge of that. We're kind of showing that, hey, we can play together and we do really good things when we do.
Normally that person might be taken to jail. What actually happens with the co-responder team is they get them the proper intervention.
Yep, Inside Out Wellness and Advocacy is what it's called. It spells Iowa. It's fancy.
Right.
Fancy.
So that helps me call them. It makes me feel better after I talk to them.
I feel as though he's like experiencing so much trauma and all these things that I could advocate for him to get there.
But you were able to work through it on your own? Yeah? Sounds like you did, which is awesome.
Moving forward, my agency will provide the mental health professional for those mental health officers.
We got together as a group, and that was when it was presented. They would like to do this program. This is the honest answer, right? I'm like, why are we doing this? Why is this the police department's job? I felt like there's other entities out there that should be doing this that are have more expertise in the area of mental health than the police department.
When you see a need in your community and you have great leaders, they're going to be supportive.
I was convinced by the end of the meeting that this was probably a good thing. If you don't have something set up, then what's the solution?
I'm Officer Jessica Winter.
And I'm Margaret Lano, and we're the Urbandale Police Department's crisis intervention team.
Word started coming around here that we were actually going to be doing a co-responder program, and I was like, I want that job.
There's that stigma that a mental health call is going to be this huge, out of the normal thing, and I think reducing that stigma through this entire project has probably been the biggest thing that we could have done.
I don't know if people think that police officers just want to arrest people. We want to arrest I want to arrest bad people, people that are doing things, that are illegal and intentionally doing that. When I see someone that's in a mental health crisis, they're not intentionally doing those things. There's things out of their control.
We're really lucky. I feel like all of the officers at Urbandale really want to get people resources and get people connected, and they know that calling us is going to get those people help.
Law enforcement gets to take ownership of that they were able to divert that person.
I think it's the best avenue is to get them to services that can help them with that, medication, counseling services, whatever it is.
I will call Easter Seals and see if they have a bed.
Hi, this is Margaret Lano from Urbandale PD's crisis intervention team calling you guys. I was checking to see if you guys have a residential bed open. I feel as though he would be appropriate. He's not having any suicidal ideations, but kiddo is real down and depressed.
We are exactly what it says. We are a co-responder program. Margaret and I go to all the calls together. Dispatch kind of does the initial determination. Is there something here that seems like it has a mental health component or drug use or substance use that would warrant the CIT response?
When there is a recognized mental health issue or something that they think might be that rather than just a criminal activity, it just sets us up for success rather than setting that person up for failure every time.
Learning how to work with your partner is a huge component of how you become a successful CIT team, because you just have to learn how to work with that person, taking their strengths and your strengths and just making it an overall success.
I would like to talk to my partner, who's an officer first, and get her opinion on it, on which way we should go. So I just want to talk to her about this situation, then I'll give you a call back, okay? Do you want to give her a call back and explain that? Because you're just better at understanding the police stuff and how that will look if she has questions about that. Okay.
So Margaret's filled me in a little bit about what's going on with you. We have a couple recommendations, and I think you need to come in and file a domestic report for domestic abuse. Well, you're doing the right thing by calling and talking to us. I want to reassure you of that. One of the main things is to remember is we're dealing with human beings. We ourselves are human beings. And so you got to really look at the fact, like, you have all these emotions. You're a human being. You're not exempt from those because you're a police officer. So remember that this person you're dealing with has all those same emotions and all those same things that you deal with. This is okay. We can deal with this.
By extending some compassion to somebody who's in crisis, they're going to trust you and they're going to believe in you and they're going to go with you willingly. They're going to do those things and they're going to give you compliance because you're just being compassionate and you're treating them like a human.
Ben often struggles with like suicidal ideations, but isn't often like actively suicidal or like seeking it out. He just needs that crisis stabilization or even just like a chit chat with us to kind of bring him back to center and get him back on the right path, remind him of his coping skills and things like that.
Before this program started, we weren't using crisis stabilization. We didn't even know it existed. Now that's probably our primary source of transport when we take someone. People are like, they, interact with the police and they think, oh, I'm going to jail. And it's like, no, we're taking to a different place. And they're just like, oh, okay. They were getting into an additional service that actually met their needs that they needed.
Yeah. You seem like you're doing way better.
I feel sick.
Yeah.
To my stomach.
I'm sorry. That anxious
And then I was drinking yesterday.
Okay.
I took some medicine to sober up. I'm pretty sure you can see that I'm sober now. I don't feel loved. I mean, I feel loved by you guys. Like, thank God for your things too. But I'm losing it. I'm thinking of ways to kill myself in my own head, and I can't control it.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. It would be great. I don't know if you guys have any calls or what, if you could stay with me. Not until I get a ride, or as long as you can.
Yeah.
Just having somebody here.
It's helpful.
Yes.
One of the aspects of the team is they can spend more time on this type of call, and where our officers, calls are building all day long.
A lot of times that extra time is what really convinces people to eventually decide to go.
But it's just a place you could go where you're not alone, so that you're safe.
However this is going to work, I'm just going to let it work itself out, keep a positive attitude.
Love it.
Situation.
Love it. People can sense when you're trying to rush them into a decision, right? And they already have anxiety and they're already, stressed about what they're dealing with in their own crisis. And we're just like, hey, we got time on our side. We're not in any hurry to come in here. So even that part of the softer approach has helped a lot too.
It's really amazing to see people have a level of trust with us to try those opportunities again.
We also tell them, like, you haven't tried it with Jess and Marge. Like, This is your game changer right here. Like, let us be your advocates. You haven't had us to go with you and help you. And some people are like, okay.
We know that there's not ever going to be a time where law enforcement isn't going to be involved in mental health calls. So why not take a softer approach with a law enforcement officer? They are not in full uniform. The cars are not marked.
That's been a good response from people because they're like, oh, I get to go in the undercover car? We're like, yeah, you get to go in the undercover car.
We don't need the neighbors knowing, we don't need the gossip happening, and we want to make sure that we're providing as much privacy and dignity as we can to those folks who are reaching out for help.
If you're breaking down that barrier, that old mentality of officer, strict rules, take to jail, those types of things all go away when you're not seeing that uniform. It just looks like you're just another person out there that's trying to help.
Some people just do not want to talk to the police. If they know I'm a police officer, just do not want to talk to me. And so Margaret can be like, well, I'm not a police officer. Come talk to me. And they're usually like, okay.
I'm pretty good about getting Jess back into the conversation and being like, hey, that's my partner. She's really awesome.
Me and Marge are right across the parking lot, so you have any issues, you just call, you text us and be like, get over here, girls. I need some moral support. It's really good to see you, though.
It's good to see you, too.
Yeah. I'm proud of you that you worked yourself through the weekend, but I do like that you're trying to maybe kind of cope on your own and employ some of the skills that you've learned. All right, Ben, you take care.
Okay, take care.
Reach out.
Thanks to you both. I know what to do now to help myself.
Good.
I think that you both really work good together.
Thank you.
To help this world, I mean, there's so many people out there that need help today.
2 or 3 years from now, we're gonna be going, how did we ever function without the CIT team?
We're going to continue on, and hopefully these programs will grow. So if we could see this in other departments across the state of Iowa, I think that would be amazing.
Everyone should be on board with it, and it should just be standard.
When you belong to a community, why would you not want this to continue to spread and to continue to grow and become just the normal thing that is a part of our communities?
It is invaluable to your community and to your department.
The calls they're handling, the success stories that they're having, we were doing a disservice to our community by not having this earlier.